Good morning. Welcome to Keep the Faith with Pastor Frank. I pray that you're doing well this morning. Good morning, Brother Lee. You starting your morning off early this morning. Good morning, Brother Russell. Good to see you online. Good morning, Sister Crystal. It's good to see you online. Pray you're doing well. We're going to be looking at Mark chapter 11 and just a few verses, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. So it's just going to be a short little devotion this morning. Good morning, Sister Liz. Always greets everyone. It's good to see you online this morning. Brother James, it's good to see you online this morning. Pray you're doing well. So, like I said, we're gonna be in Mark chapter 11, and I just want to read a few verses. It's not going to take long, but I think there's a couple important little tidbits that I want to get to you. So, of course, verse 15, when they arrived back in Jerusalem, Jesus entered the temple and began to drive out the people buying and selling animals for sacrifices. He knocked over the tables of the money changers and the chairs of those selling doves, and he stopped everyone from using the temple as a marketplace. He said to them, "The scriptures declare, my temple will be called a house of prayer for all nations, but you've turned it into a den of thieves." When the leading priests and teachers of religious law heard what Jesus had done, they began planning how to kill him. But they were afraid of him because the people were so amazed at his teaching. That evening, Jesus and the disciples left the city. Now, of course, if you're familiar with the law at all, you know that good morning, Brother Gary. Good morning, Gigi. Pray you're doing well. If you know the law at all, then you know you had to offer sacrifices, and it could be anything um, from a dove to several other things. But a lot of people came from far away to come and worship at the temple. So rather than bring their sacrifice with them as they properly should have done, they just bought one when they got to the temple. And that seems at you know uh, seems at first first read that they were providing a service. And you'd wonder a little bit why Jesus would get so upset. But actually, a little further study, um, they had literally turned that whole temple part into a market area where not only were they using it for, to sell sacrifices, but if you came from a different country and you had a different exchange, then you paid for having your money exchanged before you could have um, before you could purchase what you needed for your sacrifice. And I don't know, but what the priests weren't getting a cut of what was made in the marketplace for everything that everything was there. It's a pretty big business. Uh, you know, Instead of going all the way across the city, you could just stop by your local temple and pick up a few things instead of having to go all the way over to the other marketplace. So uh, this particular thing really upset Jesus a lot, and uh, he said that uh, my temple will be called a house of prayer for all nations, but you've turned it into a den of thieves. Now, one of the things Jesus doesn't like a lot is he doesn't like liars and thieves. And so for them to turn his um, marketplace into uh, den of thieves, it was really something. So uh, he took it upon himself and ran them all out. Now I want you to understand that that one person running all of the people in the markets out, it tells me a couple of things. One, they knew it was wrong in the first place, and they probably had um, permission from the priest to do it, but nothing quote unquote on the books. They probably didn't have something that said you have this lot and you can do this. But I still believe the priests were getting a cut of the money, but they knew. I think first cut is they knew they shouldn't have been there. Second thing is that Jesus was very passionate about what he said, in that the house should be a prayer house of prayer for all nations. And uh, and I think that as he began to say that and began to turn over the tables and things, I really think that a lot of the people there began to realize that what they were doing was actually not right. They had uh, done like many of us do. They had changed from a attitude of reverence and astonishment and awe at the God that they served to um, just this was a convenient place to take care of what needed to be done to satisfy the minimal uh, laws that the priests put upon them. So one of the things that we need to realize is that one, don't get satisfied with that relationship that you have with God to where it becomes so familiar you don't pay attention to who you're talking to. Always remember that the God that saved your soul, the Jesus that saved your soul, is the creator of everything, and he loves you. So here, for this just to be a business thing, a matter of convenience, it really grated on Jesus to where he wouldn't stand for it. So as we go through our life, we'll have opportunities to uh, help see many different things change. But some of the things we need to see change are putting the passion back in serving God and not make it a matter of convenience. I know we worry about, well, if we have our service at the right time, then this people can come. And if we do this, we can do that. But the fact is we need to be presenting an awesome God, a God that created the universe and holds all our lives in his hand, as opposed to serving the people instead of the God. And I think that that's what had happened here. The temple had become a place to serve the people instead of a place to worship God. And so, whenever we do things, how we need to pay attention to why we do them. I had a lot of times when I've heard comments made about what people should do, how people should do things. But one thing we always need to remember is we need to always remember to put God first in whatever we do. So here, these people had put convenience first, and I think money first. They were making a tidy profit on their exchange rate and on their making available things. I'm sure they didn't sell them for uh, a reasonable price just for the fact that they were at the temple, and you didn't have to go catch your dove, or you didn't have to go catch your sheep or your goat or whatever it was that you had to bring for sacrifice. So it became a matter of convenience. It became a matter of even corruption. It became a matter of a lot of things that Jesus recognized and wouldn't have anything to do with. So remember, God's house today is still a house of prayer. It doesn't make any difference if it's in your home. It doesn't make any difference if it's in a movie theater or in a nice, beautiful building. God's house is a house to recognize the wonder, the awe, and enjoy the presence of the God who created everything. So this morning, just be excited about understanding who Jesus is, and don't try to take shortcuts like those guys did. Do it every bit the way that the Lord wants you to, and His wonderful presence will fill your life and your home as time continues to go on. God bless you this morning. Keep the faith. I'll see you Monday morning, God willing, 6:30. Keep the faith.